An aviation and flight simulation show. Welcome aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Closed Traffic Podcast, an aviation and flight simulation show. I'm Johnny, and got the whole crew today. Got old Mike here and our main man Charlie covering the background. Say hello to the people real quick.
What's going on, man? What's going on, Charlie? You looking? I'm blue, dabba dee dabba da.
I'm not even gonna say it. What's up, people?
Looking good, man. Looking good though. You know I had to get you back for your you trying to dig on me for flying that 7.
Oh man, I thought you done checked out on old mountain man over here.
Oh man,
no, I had to get you back.
Well, you got me, man. I was over here sweating, crying. I was like, dang, I done made Mike mad.
I know, man. Charlie had to seek therapy, bro. I thought we were gonna have to.
Yeah, I had to hit up Johnny, man. What's going on? Did I make you mad?
Man. Yeah. But guys,
about them Airbuses, bro.
Dave said, "How's the moonshine coming?"
Oh my gosh, guys, this was definitely impromptu. But you know how we roll here in the CTP. But no, this was really impromptu. I think we were all kind of doing our Friday night thing, and we were alerted to some just very disturbing news coming out of the Honeycomb camp. And so we're going to take some time, unpack that, and go from there. Got anything else for us, Mike?
Yeah, man, I think as Johnny said, listen, this is late breaking for everyone. We literally just got this an hour ago. I think everyone is still consuming it and really trying to it's a lot. You know, Johnny's going to take you guys through it here in a second, but there's a lot to unpack here. I just think, you know, obviously, as we always try to do and strive to do, you know, maintain a level of respect for the folks involved. You know, we're obviously going to give a subset of our opinions, or our opinions to a degree, based on the facts that are provided as is. But we certainly aren't going to speculate too much, and at the same time ensure that, again, we maintain a level of professionalism and respect. And we ask that you all in the chat do the same thing. We definitely want to hear from you guys. For those that have had a chance to dive into it, as we unpack it, things may start to make sense a little bit more for you, and feel free to chime in. We just ask that we maintain that level of professionalism this evening.
Well said, Mike. So I'm gonna get right to it, guys. And I think probably the best way to really, you know, just take all this in, I'm going to read verbatim, guys. Let's go ahead and give you an alert. It's pretty lengthy. It's 3 parts to it. So I'm going to read quote, you know, verbatim, right? So go ahead and start here with part 1. So this is coming from are we confirmed this is coming from Nikki, Mike, Joe?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, so it's sound about him. Okay, so this is coming from Nikki. I am writing this letter to explain the current situation and provide some clarity about what has been going on with Honeycomb, and to offer you my sincere apology if you have been caught up in this in any way. I am not trying to make any excuses or deny my responsibility for what happened. I should have paid more attention to what was going on and acted sooner. I have no one but myself to blame for that. To fully understand how we have ended up here where we are, I need to start at the beginning. I initially had the idea to start Honeycomb back in 2012 when working on growing SciTech. I'm sure you're saying he means working on a growing SciTech in the U.S. market. I saw a massive gap in the market between high volume gaming grade and low volume high end flight sim equipment. I built the Honeycomb business plan on utilizing my knowledge and network in both industries to develop authentic, high quality products at a price point that at that a lot more people could afford by using the mass production infrastructure of the consumer electronics industry paired with the product fidelity of the flight training industry. The business plan was finalized in 2012, but even with a solid financial and a go-to market plan, finding an investor and capital to launch the company proved harder than expected. The startup was too small for venture capital, but too big for an angel investor. In 2006, I finally found a partner to start Honeycomb with. He was a longtime friend whom I trusted, and I had already been working with to help develop the U.S. market for his video game accessories. I had presented the Honeycomb business plan to him several times before, but he wasn't in a financial position to commit to being part of the startup at that time. However, that changed when he was able to provide the funds needed to start Honeycomb together through a finance partner. We agreed that he would be responsible for the financial side of the business, funding the product development and manufacturing, as well as using his existing company in Hong Kong as a service provider to work with our manufacturing partners to transition AutoCAD files I provided of my industrial and mechanical designs into a product ready for mass production. Additionally, we agreed that we would use his distribution companies in the US, Europe, and Asia to sell the Honeycomb products so I could concentrate on product development. In return, he would get a minority ownership stake in Honeycomb. We agreed that he would register the company for us in Hong Kong since it made sense from a development standpoint and the close proximity to our manufacturing partners here in heads up Shenzhen. And I'm actually I think what I'm going to do, we're going to do this, Mike.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm going to copy this just so we can have. Give me just a minute.
Yeah, as Johnny said, there's a lot here. So
it's a lot.
Give you guys an idea of how much there is. He had to break this thing up into 3 separate emails. Nikki did. So there's a lot here.
Let's see here. I'm trying the best way to present it. So we'll
Really,
do this.
Mr. Dave, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Shenzhen. Yeah, yep. Dave
Yeah.
spent some time out that way.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, man. Right, Mr. Dave. Spent some time out there in Asia.
Let's see.
I've never been to.
I don't know about Shenzhen specifically, but I know he spent some time in Asia.
Present. There we go. No, not doing slides. No PowerPoints today. Let's look here. Yeah, that's probably the best way. I can't think of any other way right now.
Interesting.
All right. So there we go. Not sure if y'all can see that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Now, dang, where were we? All right. We had already started the development of the alpha, but finalizing our shareholder agreement and setting up Honeycomb as a company kept getting pushed off by my partner. Finally, when the company was established, I discovered that it was done so with 100% ownership under the corporate umbrella of my business partner. He explained that it was a requirement by his finance partners who had a lien against his company as a security for the loans and wouldn't provide the funding otherwise. Interesting. He promised we would finalize the shareholder agreement specifying the ownership percentages when were to be executed once the loans needed for the production development were repaid. I would never have agreed to those terms in advance and still don't. And although I had reservations about the situation, I wasn't looking to sell my shares anytime soon. So getting a written agreement in place that protected my rights became a bigger priority than actually having the shares in my hand. However, despite numerous attempts to get it finalized, no agreement has been signed by him to this date. Wow. During the first 2 years, I'm sorry, Mike, you want to say something?
No, I'm just reacting.
During the first 2 years, I focused almost entirely on product development, and during this time, I did not expect anything wrong when reviewing the monthly and annual financial reports. Sales were great, and I had no expectations that we would. I mean, I'm sorry, and I had no expectations that we would be profitable from day one. However, by mid 2022, it became apparent that my business partner was in financial trouble, and when Honeycomb ended up with a negative result, despite having a record year, I started looking into the financials in detail. Once I started going through the books, every invoice and purchase order one by one, I discovered that the service fees added to the factory costs for the services provided in Hong Kong were significantly higher than what we had agreed. In addition, the sales prices on the invoices to my partner's distribution companies were lower than agreed. When I confronted my business partner about these findings, he assured me that it was just an accounting error and promised to get the books in order. I accepted the explanation and solution, but didn't push to have it done immediately. Not wanting to worsen my partner's financial situation at the time, to further help the cash flow situation, I made the mistake of agreeing to a limited pre-order campaign for the Charlies, not you, Charlie. Once the
Blame
production
it on
schedule,
Charlie.
it's all Charlie's fault.
It's all my
Once
fault.
once the production schedule had been confirmed by the factory. However, when the production was set to begin, I found out that instead for paying for the components required to manufacture the product, all the money received for the Charlie pre-order had gone elsewhere. The situation escalated in July 2023, shortly after we missed the planned shipping date for the pre-orders, when the factory partner contacted me directly to inform me that they had still not received payments for the Charlie production or for the several thousand Alpha and Bravos they had manufactured and were sitting in their warehouse, which I was completely unaware of existed. Additionally, they had a significant amount of outstanding invoices, including for the injection tooling required to produce plastic parts for the Charlie. The extent of the situation caught me completely by surprise. And that's part one. Yeah.
That's just part one.
Yeah, that's part one.
That's a lot to unpack already, right? So obviously Nikki's is going through and giving you guys sort of the introduction to how the organization got started, what his plans were for the organization, and what he really wanted to do. And he goes into more about this in the subsequent emails, but really just kind of just setting the stage about how it got started, how he got into business with his former partner now, as he states, and sort of, why he thought things were taking a turn for the worse, even back before where we are at this current time, and even as early as mid 2022, and maybe even before that, right? Jeez, man, I don't even know where to start. Like,
I don't either. Man.
That is super unfortunate. Like, I wouldn't wish this situation or circumstance on my worst enemy. Like,
no.
Listen, I'll be honest, right? I think we had the opportunity to meet Nikki at FS Expo this year in Houston, and you can tell the passion that man has for aviation and his products, and his ability to help shape the future of what flight simulation looks like, and even beyond that, helping others sort of break into this aviation world and even become pilots or professionals in the aviation sector beyond what we see in flight sim today. So there was always the intent on his part to ensure that this business was successful, while doing good for the community as a whole. And it's unfortunate that he now finds himself in this position due to, let's be honest, a shady business partner. Now, he doesn't mention any names. I don't really know the history about beyond or behind who this business partner is. He mentions that he had some financial difficulty even before going down this venture, so one can draw conclusions there. But as I said at the beginning of this, we're not going to go too much into opinions and trying to make things up here. We're just really going to state the facts. But yeah, it's super unfortunate, man. Super unfortunate. So we'll break it down more. I think Johnny's got, what is this, the second
Part
email
two.
up here, part two. Yep. Part 2 of 3 as he continues on here.
So it's part 2. I flew to Hong Kong as soon as possible to meet with the factory and my soon-to-be ex-partner to find out what was really going on, as I suspected things were bad, but I managed to negotiate a deal between all 3 parties where my partner and his companies would no longer handle sales and distribution, and I would also handle the factory partner directly as a part of the agreement. I was committing to help the factory recover the outstanding invoices by paying a significant premium on the existing stock as well as on the Charlie production. In exchange, the factory agreed to manufacture the Charlie despite the outstanding debt. But I had to pay for the injection tooling as well as a 50% deposit of the production cost up front. Last month, all parties finally signed the agreement, and I have been able to find buyers for the majority of the existing inventory already. I used the slim margins left from the inflated cost to make sure that Honeycomb staff who were also owed money by my partner were getting paid. Some salary payments are still outstanding, but everyone should be fully up to date by next week. Unfortunately, this has left me unable to prepay for the tooling or the deposit required to start production of the Charlie right now. You can argue that customers comes first, and I should have prioritized the Charlie production, but in my book, people come first. They have mouths to feed and rent to pay. Since it is highly unlikely that I will receive payments for pre-orders from my ex-partner, I am currently working on several finance deals to be able to start production as soon as possible. How I pay it back is not clear yet. I am determined that all customers receive the product they paid for, regardless of the financial impact to myself. Ultimately, it is my responsibility that we are in this situation, and I can't expect anyone to carry the financial burden but myself. I am incredibly sorry to everyone who has been caught in the middle of this and hasn't received their Charlie order as promised. I really appreciate everyone who have stuck around despite the extended delays, but I think it's my duty to tell you that you might get the product faster if you cancel your order and reorder it from one of the official resellers once they have confirmed that the shipment is on the way. Funding an order that is tied to an invoice is a lot easier than financing one that I have to pay out of my own pocket. And while I do everything in my power to ship the pre-orders first, I might not be able to do so. If you do cancel your order, you need to be aware that you will have to dispute the charges with your credit card company to get a refund. Shopify will not issue a refund to you. Explanation below. Call your credit card company before you cancel the order to be sure it will be refunded. For those of you who have already canceled your Charlie order but have not received a refund, you will have to do the same. I am really sorry for the inconvenience, but there is nothing I can do about the matter. I have tried. I will still send a honeycomb hat to everyone as promised. Canceled or not, just have a little patience with me. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of
that was tough to read.
The online order, which is mentioned, runs through Shopify and also manages our faulty return process is controlled by the Honeycomb entity in Hong Kong, which is owned by my former business partner. When Shopify didn't receive payments for the cancellations, they blocked further refunds, and we lost our ability to send out return labels for faulty products and ship new replacement units back. Not that it mattered much because the warehouse handling the returns had already stopped shipping out replacement products before that due to, you guessed it, outstanding invoices. You can argue that I should have seen the writing on the wall much sooner, but I kept getting promises that it would get sorted, next week, and sometimes it did, which restores some faith, but most of the time it didn't. For the last 2 months, I have been trying to get units shipped from Europe to replace the faulty products, but my ex-partner has control of the inventory, and I have so far not been able to get him to cooperate on the matter. I am working on a solution with the factory, and they have promised to supply me with the replacement units once I've paid for the tooling on the Charlie, which should be soon. The one bit of good news is that we have reached an agreement that he will sell his assets in Honeycomb if I can find a new partner to buy him out, where I'm currently at. I am talking to several great companies that not only have the financial means to accelerate Honeycomb's growth, but also the technical expertise to help me develop even better products in the future. I am very optimistic, very optimistic that one of them is going to come through. Honeycomb is a great business opportunity, and while there are some housekeeping items to be dealt with, the solutions are easily executable. Deliver the Charlie as promised, replace the faulty products, and make sure that all creditors are paid before the remaining purchase sum is paid out. Once that's out of the way, we can focus on the future. End of part 2.
Yeah, man, it just keeps getting crazier. I think so. Let's go to the comments before I add any more thoughts around that. So, Dave, I'm going to go back to your original comment. You mentioned Mike is you know as well as I do there are no friends in business. He should have demanded the correct books. I think, Dave, you are correct to a degree. I think no friends in business is a little harsh. I think that is certainly a saying that gets thrown around here and there, and often in business that truly gets to the root of, hey man, you got to watch your back and you got to ensure everything is consistently on the up and up. And unfortunately, and Nikki even admits this in his emails here, he did not do that very well. He had some doubt in his gut for real, for sure, and had some concerns and some empty promises that were given to him about remediating some of those concerns that he's had and some of the things that he noticed as the business was developing. But I think to your point, Dave, there is certainly a responsibility as a business partner in any business that you're in to ensure stuff is on the up and up, friends or not. So I think no friends in business can be said a different way. I get what you mean, but I think it can be said a different way as it relates to you got to make sure you've got equal responsibility, regardless of who owns what in the business. You've got equal responsibility into ensuring the success for the business, especially when you are selling products to consumers and folks are spending their hard-earned money on this, let's be honest, not cheap hardware, right? So we all understand the state of the economy, both here and abroad, and the stuff that folks are struggling with every day. This does not make matters any better, and certainly puts a bad taste in people's mouth and creates sort of distrust across the entire sort of segment of flight sim as we know it today. So I think this is something that the industry as a whole is going to take sort of learnings from. I think other providers, both in this business and those that are sort of tangent to this business are going to definitely take some stock here and think about how things are done differently going forward to ensure this is mitigated as much as possible. It's super unfortunate, man. Super unfortunate. So Charlie, I don't know if you've got anything else you want to add before Johnny gets into sort of the third part of the letter here, and we can definitely dive into everything else after.
No, I think you hit it spot on, man. Just super. Golly, I just couldn't imagine. You know, like you put your heart and soul into something, and then poof, it's gone.
Super unfortunate, man.
For sure. Part 3. All right, let's see here. And we'll also, I don't know if we can, Mike, but see if we forgot maybe getting a copy of these letters and putting them on the website somehow.
Yeah, I can do that.
So
we'll link it.
Yeah, they'll be able to read it as well. All right, part 3. I wish I had gone out earlier and told everyone what was going on, but in the beginning, I expected it to be a small but easily fixable bump in the road. And more recently, I was concerned that it could jeopardize my chances of getting Honeycomb back. But finding a solution is taking longer than expected, and I can no longer, in good conscience, let this go without being truthful to you about the situation. There are a lot of lessons to be learned from this, and a lot of things I could have done differently. But hindsight is always 20/20. Amen to that. I feel terrible for everyone who has been affected by this. But Honeycomb is my baby, and I will fight for her to the bitter end. And when I get her back, I will right all the wrongs. This is my promise to you. I am incredibly proud of what Honeycomb has achieved and the products we have created, but devastated about the situation we have ended up in. I still have big dreams for the future, including my nonprofit, the Flight Sim Academy, which through an incredible industry support is going full steam ahead and opening 30 high school aviation STEM centers in North America and more beyond, to not only inspire kids to become aviators, but to also help them achieve that dream. Honeycomb is a key part of that plan and will continue to donate 15 complete flight simulators, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Deltas, to equip all the sim labs at the centers. A lot of new products in development had to be put on hold due to the financial situation. But once I have a new partner in place, we'll be able to launch all of those fairly quickly and start new projects I've been planning, which I can't wait to tell you all about. I cannot begin to express my gratitude to my team, especially tech support and social media, who, despite not being paid on time since things have escalated, have stayed with me while dealing with an incredible amount of stress, not being able to help people, tell them when they will receive their product or the real reason why it hasn't been shipped. They are the ones who were on the front lines and experienced the justified anger of customers who were waiting for their products. If you contact them, please be kind. They're all dedicated people who would love to provide you with a first-class customer service, but have not been able to do so for a while, to no fault of their own. I'm also very thankful to all of you who have shown your loyalty and support from day one. I hope that once I have regained full control of my company and gotten things back on track, I can earn your loyalty and support once again. I apologize for the poor communication and understand your frustration. While I wish I could provide you with a specific timeline for resolving the issues, I don't want to make any promises that I can't guarantee. However, moving forward, my team and I will provide you with regular updates until a solution has been found. And the one thing I will promise is that will be done as fast as humanly possible. Please accept my apologies and thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking your time to read through this very long letter and let me explain the situation in detail. Again, my sincere apologies, Nikki, founder, Honeycomb, end of part 3.
Man, first of all, shout out to Johnny for reading all.
Yeah.
Drop stuff here. He spent 30 minutes.
Take your swig, brother. Take your
swig, bro. That was not easy to get through, man.
Shout out to my salivary glands for dry mouth.
for helping you
that cotton mouth legit,
bro.
Cheers.
Oh man, all I can do is this.
I know, bro.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
Like, first of all, I think, good on him to, shout out his support team. And I 100% agree with him when he mentioned the fact that, yeah, technically customers should come first, but I want to make sure my people that has rent to pay and mouths to feed are taken care of. And 100% agree. I think it's not a good situation for anyone involved, but like, you ain't gonna die if you don't get a Honeycomb Charlie.
Exactly.
Life will move on. You'll figure out how to get your money back or whatever, but life will go on. These folks here are relying on a check to feed their family and sustain their livelihood. So I 100% agree with the fact that he took care of his people first. Happy employees equals happy customers most of the time. This is our good folks over at Hype. I 100% agree with that. I think probably the one thing that I probably take, objection to, and again, I really don't see another way around it, given the circumstance he finds himself in, is like how folks have to figure out how to get their money back, right? The fact that Shopify is no longer accepting refunds and doing business with them, they've now got to like go out to their banking institution to, what did he say, is something to the degree of like claim fraud, or have them issue a refund based on the fact that the stuff that they ordered was not received, which again, in having spent time and still to a degree dealing with the payment industry in my quote unquote everyday work life, typically the bank's going to side with the consumer 99.9% of the time. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. My sort of long-term concern for him, as I read that, is his ability to continue to do business moving forward once the banks get a hold of, the fact that things were promised, things were paid for, and ultimately were not delivered. They don't generally look favorable on that. I don't know how the rules may differ in Europe and other parts of the world, but like, it's going to be tough to sort of get that back going again. And he mentions, finding other business partners and other folks, and maybe that stuff, majorly gets into their name and there's a way to circumvent that. But I've got sort of longer term concerns about his financial ability, even just from a logistics standpoint, to be able to provide those services again after folks go in and start issuing or claiming refunds and returns on all of this stuff. Yeah, they could hold him responsible due to lack of due diligence. I mean, there's a lot here. Like, none of us are lawyers, right? And even beyond that, this stuff did not, from a business standpoint, occur within the U.S. So that adds even more complexity to this and how those laws differ. But I'd imagine he's laying this out very simple as it relates to what next steps are and how he plans to overcome this, which I can respect and actually admire to a degree. But I feel like this is going to be a lot deeper and a lot more complex than meets the eye. That's just my opinion, though.
I agree.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. You're spot on, Mike. Man, I honestly, as from a consumer standpoint, I really feel for the consumers, but I especially feel for Nikki. And I was just talking to my wife about it, because I was, we were minding our own business, and we get these emails, and I haven't ordered anything from Honeycomb recently, so I'm like, what's going on here? And to read that, it takes a lot out of a person to admit, man, this is so jacked up. I got to let customers know. It takes a lot, so shout out to him for having the gumption to, crack open the laptop and write this out. To Mike's point, that was my first concern. I mean, he paints it, as an easy picture, and as far as getting folks money back, and like you said, it's 99% of the time, they'll typically side with the customer, but what about that 1%? You know what I'm saying? And again, these products ain't cheap, and it's one thing if we're talking $80, whatever, But most of these products are like what, $200-$300, $400
I can't
Minimum.
remember what the charges
minimum.
were going for.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what they were going for.
I want to say like
And
350 maybe.
yeah, something like that. I was trying to go on the website, and the website shut down. So
Yeah.
it was like that there, it really hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is real,
Yep.
So I really hope that he's able to right the ship, for us Honeycomb users, because everything in front of me right now is Honeycomb. I would highly recommend that you take especially care of your products, because if you go and reach out to support right now, I don't think, as much as Nikki would love to, I don't think he'll be able to get you taken care of right now. And it's as he said in his letter, so from a again, from a perspective of being able to just kind of go on this business as usual and all is right with the world, I don't think it's going to be that easy.
No.
And I seen this, and I immediately jumped on the forums to see what people were saying, and it's not good. It's not good at all. So
really, I haven't had a chance to go look
yeah,
at it.
man, it's people are not. I'll be honest with you, my people aren't trying to hear that. They're not. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I can understand it. Because some of these folks have had stuff on pre-order for a while, right? So I don't know,
a long time.
I don't know. Didn't you say you were going to pre-order one, Charlie, or something?
Yeah.
I was going to, but I never did, and I'm glad I didn't.
When was that, Charlie? Because I was trying to reconcile when the Charlie was first announced. I know it wasn't this past Expo. Was it truly the San Diego Expo in 22?
It had to be.
That's
because
crazy.
the past one, he announced the MF and PFDs,
right? So
so
no one has
redesigned Alpha and Bravo units.
Right. So no one has this Charlie today.
No, because
it was
way
never
I take
released.
it in the emails, it's never even been built yet.
Oh,
see, the way I take it, and it could be wrong, this is just Charlie's opinion speaking here, is old boy took the money that was supposed to went to the development for the tooling of the Charlies, and don't know what happened to it. It's gone.
In addition to unpaid
it's gone. He put it wherever.
In addition to unpaid invoices for the current products in the market.
Yeah, because he said thousands of Alphas and Bravos in their warehouse. So I mean, they've got thousands of these things sitting over there.
Wow.
That
which I'm sure on back order from people wondering where their stuff is to begin with.
Do you know how lucky I got? Because I had this one, I had a problem with my other one, like the sensors inside, the yoke wouldn't work. And it took like 2 weeks, but I was able to get a replacement, and that was about 2 months before Expo.
Same thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny had the same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you guys did get lucky.
So I could have sent this thing
Really
back
lucky.
and never saw it again.
Never saw it again.
And
that's
it wasn't but like 6
crazy.
months old.
Yo, that's wow.
Like,
because he mentions that
it's like
he mentions that he felt like things were really on the decline July of 23, which was literally weeks after the Expo in Houston.
Yeah.
Literally. Wow. And Dave says the pedals I know of, nobody owns them.
Yeah,
that's crazy. This entire time I thought folks had those out there.
No. I think we saw a demo at Expo. Did we not, guys? I think because I got a picture of something that looks like the Charlies.
They probably had them at Expo in addition to the PFDs and MFDs they were showing.
I know the PFDs and MFDs were there.
Yeah, that's the only time.
So nobody has these things, and they've been announced since 22. Nah, bro, that's not. That's
fucking.
You see. So hence all these the animosity in the forums, right? Like,
that's
man,
unacceptable.
I'm not going to bother repeating some of them, man, because
Hey, the other thing, like,
they sell them for $349.99.
The Charlies?
The Charlies is what they were.
How are you able to find that? The website's down.
I just Googled it, and the first one popped up was Honeycomb Aeronautical. But like you click on it, you can't get to the actual page. So I guess it's cached from where I looked at them.
Yeah,
where you looked at
yeah.
I was trying to see when.
Yeah, you're right. $349.99 out of stock, and then when you click on it, the website just is not going to load.
Man, and I hate that.
So,
guys.
folks, what was the pre-order cost? Was that the full cost, or did you put a sum down? How did he?
No, I think it's the whole shebang, wasn't it?
That's the whole shebang right there. You pre-order.
And when were pre-orders first available?
That's what I'm trying to find out. But somebody's showing 2 on eBay for $460, but I don't know.
And that's the other thing. Like, I've never purchased any of my Honeycomb products directly from them. I got them from Amazon. Number one, because I'm impatient and I got Prime. And I remember when I decided that I wanted the yoke and then subsequently the Bravo, I was like, I'm not waiting for this. And they weren't, right. I think they were about the same price, if not a little bit more. But I was like, I want this in the morning or the next day, I think is when I got them. Versus, plus I was hearing rumblings about delayed shipping about the products directly from Honeycomb. So I'm just like, I'm going to get this stuff from Amazon. But I never followed up on sort of what was happening with the Charlie. I didn't realize that this thing was announced in 22, and to this day, folks don't have them.
No. What do you think the implications are, guys, of the existing inventory as far as price-wise? You think the price is going to just shoot up?
So I said to us before we jumped on this during our emergency pre-production meeting, right? I did.
Heard cats.
Heard cats. Listen, guys, we were all literally on the couch. I was about halfway through this and was like, I guess we better get on and say something about this. Because none of us are going to have time throughout the rest of the weekend.
No.
But, oh, shoot, I lost sight of your question. I'm like too into this already. What'd you ask, man?
Pricing. Do you think,
yes.
You know,
so I did mention, right, the fact that we saw Apple have to pull the watches off the shelves because of the copyright issue they're dealing with regarding the O2 sensor. You know, my wife went and grabbed it right as the news was breaking, so she's one of the lucky ones. But I saw that they were sort of folks were price gouging them in an effort to sell them because you knew that you either are never going to, or it's going to be a very long time before you can purchase them again. And this nostalgia. Listen, this is Apple and this is Honeycomb. We're comparing, you know, apples and oranges here, but like I think there's a nostalgic feeling to, you know, we may never see this company in existence again in the fashion that we know it, and to be able to have a piece of flight sim history surrounded and attached to, let's just be honest, controversy. I've seen stuff sell for, you know, things of less value or of less importance sell for far more. So who knows, man? Who knows? Hype says, I'd be hesitant to buy any current inventory since warranty replacements or repairs would be reliable now. No, I think that's spot on, man. Like if you're buying for the purpose of, I'm going to use this as an everyday flight sim product, I think twice. But if it's like, you know what, man, I want one of these to put on a shelf back there and have a piece of this history, it might be a collector's item now. Like you just don't know. And I think, I don't know. I think it can go either way.
So I found a Reddit post that shared Honeycomb Charlie rudder pedals finally up for pre-order. And that was, the time frame says 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
So it would be that would have been right. I think that's right. Before Expo last
23.
year.
It doesn't have a date on that Reddit thing.
No, it just says 1 year
ago. I'm sure, like,
but I remember
FS Elite were those guys covered when it was initially on sale. Come on, chat, help us out. You folks out there listening, when were the Charlies first available for pre-order? Because what I'm trying to reconcile is like how long have folks truly been out there waiting for this thing? Yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to reconcile.
February 1st, 2023, according to FSnews.eu.
There you go. Okay, so exactly, roughly a year ago. In a couple of days, it'll be exactly a year. And
that's right, because it was right around my birthday, because that's why I was looking at him. I was like, oh, that'd be a sweet birthday present. Now, sorry, I'm old and I can't remember. I have CRS. For those who don't know what CRS is, can't remember.
Charlie's
Charlie, you're out of order. You're out of order.
Beat the gavel.
Oh man, guys, this is unfortunate because I really this isn't
especially when we sat there at Expo and hung out with him. You got to kind of feel a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, again, we just, and again, he might be able to turn this thing around, but
I hope he does.
I really hope he does, because I do not want it. I don't want another situation till we have just one hardware manufacturer. That's an awful
when you start getting into a daggone monopoly,
like an awful market to be in.
I thought there were a couple. You've got Virpil, you've got Thrustmaster.
Virpil's not making
Virpil don't make yokes.
Oh, just the pedals.
Well, yeah, they do the pedals,
but they're mainly
Wing. It's mostly DCS, man. That's their thing.
Gotcha. So no one truly in this space.
There's a few higher end.
You got like your Yokos that are force feedback, but them damn things are like $2,000.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, bro. But they're force feedback. I mean,
that's how much of an impact Honeycomb made when they were like, hey, here's this awesome product, for a good price, man. Everybody went bananas. When this came out, and then hear this, bro.
I waited forever for my Alpha and Bravo. Ever months.
Yeah,
that's what it was. I remember,
waiting, bro.
I remember.
And I found them on Sporties, and I was like, boom, bought.
Yeah. Oh, I lied. That's right. It was Sporties.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because we helped you look for one.
You guys helped me look for one. I remember you kept sending them, Johnny, over.
Bro,
I think it was
bad,
during the middle of COVID. And
here's one. Trying times back then, bro. Couldn't get shoes,
times to get
Twitter bought Johnny's what we call it.
Johnny was on it like a day trader, bro. It was
I had like
that's
multiple
right.
monitors up, man. I'm like tracking inventory.
He was like, "Yo, Mike, here you go. Cop this real quick." Yes, that's
Charlie copped this 3060 from StockX.
Oh my lord, hey man, it got you up buying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It did. It's still running
for the low price of
Well, guys, so here's the other thing that I think we have to bring up about this, and I'm not casting doubt or any sort of I'm not calling Nikki anything outside of what he's sent to us as it relates to his letter here or his email, but we are truly only hearing one side of the story.
That's true.
It's very easy for us to read this and like the subconscious in our minds start to develop this animosity and this true disappointment for his business partner to be like, bro, what the hell were you doing? Yeah. Look at the impact you've created and look what you've caused. But it's like, we don't know that side of the story either, right? So I think that's the other thing we've got to consider is all I'm saying. Like, I don't, again, we met Nikki at Expo, and to Charlie's point, it was a hoot.
Man,
he was a hoot, and he had David, you could just throw it in the chat, dude. He had so much passion and enthusiasm for his products and what he wanted to do for aviation and flight sim in general. So
just hearing him, what stuck out with me was when he was talking about the STEM program,
Yeah,
man, he was, I bet he talked to us about that for what, 45 minutes?
At least.
Minimum. Like, at just least. So passionate about getting this stuff into schools and trying to help the younger generation, get interested in aviation. And that was just, I don't know, that's always stuck with me since.
Yeah, but again, right, we're hearing one side of the story, so
that's true.
It's I think that's the other thing we just got to be careful and consider. Jason, I'd like to know how many people did actually pre-order it. Couldn't have been too many. Most people aren't going to buy something when there's no quantity on hand.
That's true.
Yeah, but
was there sounds it's got to be quite a few.
It's quite a few. It has to be, I think, Jason, because I mean, were there no quantity on hand in February of last year when pre-orders first opened? I'd be it'd be hard to imagine that. I'm sure there was quite a few, at least what the inventory was reporting. There were quite a few to be pre-ordered. I would certainly love some numbers to again sort of quantify just the magnitude of the impact that this has had on folks who've spent the $350 is a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money, bro.
Especially right now.
Especially right now, like that's a lot of money. Like even if you wanted to put it back into just aviation in general, what is that, like 2.5
2 hours on the
Hobbs,
yeah.
bro, in a Cessna? Like that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So that's truly unfortunate.
Truly unfortunate. It really is. So, I think we just kind of have to wait, and see how it plays out. I know me personally, I'm going to be babying my hardware.
Yeah, man.
You
guys gonna have to.
Yeah,
take care of your stuff.
Yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how it plays out. I really do. I wish Nikki the best. Hope it plans out. Hope he's able to get the partnerships he's looking for, and turn this ship around. Because I honestly think, guys, if something happened, heaven forbid something happened to Honeycomb, I don't know, if there be someone in the interim to take their place. I think there'll just be one manufacturer for civilian hardware, and they can charge wherever the heck they want for it. And
you're stuck with whatever they're producing.
You're stuck with whatever they're producing. Yeah,
we all know that stuff is. You think Honeycomb is expensive relatively, man? Them other folks over there, man.
Yeah, $4.99. Already look. Yep,
minimum. You want the whole
for the yoke,
7 and change, right?
That yoke's $4.99.
Man, I love the yoke. Yeah, the yoke setup, that's $4.99, bro. I just look.
Smack my butt, Sally. Holy crap.
Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? So
man, I'm about to sell a kidney if something happens. I'll be in a bind. I'll break out the old T16,000, brother. Be flying a Mad Dog with a side stick. Yeah. If I get a real bind, I'll go to Walmart and buy that $29 silver and black side stick.
My man be sitting that Mad Dog with PS5 controller.
Hey, bro, I still got this Logitech Extreme Pro over here. X3D, man. Bro, for like back in 2014, I think.
Man, the part that just blows my mind is the amount of money we're talking about at $350 peripherals.
Yeah. Man, hey man, you got
just on the alphas and bravos that's sitting in stock, man. Like that's a ton of coin.
This hobby isn't cheap. We know that. Drew, what's up, man?
What's up, Drew?
Long time.
It's not cheap, man. It's not cheap, man.
But it's like it's stuff that's like gathered over time, right? It ain't like
right.
Like you're like, I want to get into flight sim. Let me go spend.
Man, could you imagine
$2,000 on freaking
scratch building right now?
Oh my gosh, you being
don't say that, bro. Charlie.
$5,000, bro.
No, you just speak it, bro.
$5,000. You gonna get in flight sim? $5,000.
$5,000 minimum. If you want that level of immersion that's truly sought after, minimum. Like and that's hardware. Right. And shoot, man, you want to get what's a 4080 like solid PC going for out there?
I have no idea since I built this one.
What, Charlie, baby? Well, I say low.
Gotta be at least $3,000. 3.
Yeah, 2, 3. Yeah,
2, 3. So that's just the PC.
Yeah,
we're not talking about the peripherals. We're not talking about the sim.
Man, I'm telling you.
We're not talking about the add-ons. We're not talking about the sceneries.
It's Lord,
bro. It's like man, it's like bumpy.
Man, you just had man. If you're in that situation, you just have to forget 2020. Just fly X-plane and deal with default.
Just be done with it, man.
Well, I don't know, man. I think if you're trying to minimize the amount of money you're going to spend on add-ons, 2020 is probably the way to go, right? Because like X-Plane 12, not so much now, but like the other sims, there's a lot of like, oh, I gotta go get Active Sky, I gotta go get
P3D.
X and Viral.
P3D, we straight out of P3D.
Nah, you'd be in trouble. Hey, I still got the Logitech Yoke Big and kind of sucks. It's better than Xbox. Yeah, 100%. That's a good point, 100%. Jason. Like there are other things that you can do to, there's not this then that. Like, there's an in between there that you can help fill the gap. Jeez.
I did that. I did that ages. What, Mr. Dave? I did that ages ago. Drop MS.
You dropped 2020, Dave?
Oh, for real?
Oh, don't act like it's a surprise, man. Oh my gosh, everybody had this revelation, man. Hey, man, there's a lot of guys that are.
I didn't know that.
The X-Plane, yeah, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm of the mindset like we're not going to get into which is best, and that's what I'm getting into. Like there's no need to debate and get into what's best, but you can't deny the fact that both sims offer its own individual sort of level of immersion and I'm hard finding the words right now, but essentially, right, both of those you get what you want if you're really trying to find that full-on flight sim experience. In my opinion, both of these sims provide that. They serve two different audiences. Yes, Dave. But like, if you are a true flight sim aviation enthusiast, there's no way you shouldn't be flying both. Like that's just my opinion.
Yep. Spot on, man. Spot on. So, but yeah, I think that's we'll definitely continue to monitor the any upcoming events, and again, like I'm still in shock. I read the whole dissertation, and I'm still just kind of.
I've read it like 3 times.
So
you guys check it out. We'll if you haven't received the email, like I didn't get the email, and maybe it's because they don't consider me a customer. Because like I said, the Honeycomb products that I have, I've never purchased directly from them. So that's probably that, but then maybe others are in that same boat. So if you haven't read that, Threshold has also written essentially took what we've been talking about here in the last hour, made it a really nice blog about it. So I'll drop that in there as well, that you guys can reference if you want the Spark Notes version. People still use Spark Notes in school these days. Is Spark Notes still a thing?
Man, I'm still on Cliff Notes, bro.
Yeah, man, we can afford Sparks down here in the South.
Cliff Notes is before Spark Notes. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, Cliff.
So, on that note,
he got me out of a bind quite a few times.
Old Cliff. All right, man. We're gonna call it.
Hey, before we do, I want to shout out Imagine Sim. Thank you for updating KATL. We appreciate it.
They haven't done it yet.
Well, they're working on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Charlie's been yearning for that for a while.
Well, heck, man, half of the airport is like a ditch.
Yeah.
My terraforming is all jacked up on that airport.
Even after you removed the 2020 version, because I remember that was causing me issues as well.
Yep, I removed it and deleted that one and then reinstalled. I've done that 3 or 4 times.
That's unfortunate.
Miss you too, Mr. Dave.
Miss you too, man.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dave. Thanks.
Y'all remember the 2020 days where we was all taking turns?
Man, it was like a TV channel stream, bro. Oh my gosh, I had Mike stream. There's Charlie
stream, Johnny stream. Oh man, the good days, man. The good old days.
We needed the TV Guide channel. See who's coming on next.
Oh Lord, can't mess with y'all, man. But yeah, but like I said, we'll definitely continue to monitor any further events. We're also have a Discord. We'll put the Discord in the description as well. So we'll try to give you guys as much of a heads up as possible if anything else crazy jumps off. So that's all I got.
All right, we'll see, man. Keep the blue side up.
Peace.